Yo, yo, what's the deal, y'all? Tap in, tap in. Had to make sure my equipment is all good in the hood. What's up, y'all? What's happening? It's your boy L to the Izzo hosting Uncomfortable Convos Pod tonight. What's happening? Tuning in with your boy. Yes, sir. I hope y'all in for this one, man. It's gonna be a deep treat. Talking about is our history anti-Semitic? Our truth, is it anti-Semitic? Let's go into it. I'm gonna let my folks in here. What up, though? Blue Beast, what's happening, cuzzo? What's the word, brother?
What up, though?
What up, though, fam? What's happening with you,
Chilling,
man?
chilling, chilling. You holding it down, huh?
Yeah, holding the fort down,
Holding it down. I feel you.
just like that. How you been, bro? Everything all right?
I've been smooth. It's good to see you, man.
You too, brother. You too,
Yeah.
man. Thanks for coming on, man. This was
Oh
a
yeah, no
very
doubt.
deep subject, and I kind of figured you would want to tag along on this one, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You upside
Yes,
down.
sir.
Oh, there you go.
Tink in the building. He tapping in. Camera all upside down, player. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, hold up.
There we go.
Yeah,
My
There
man.
you
man.
go.
What's up,
What's
bro?
good, King?
Shit, man. Just just another day. Another day,
No
another
Word up.
dollar. Another day,
No
another
doubt.
dollar.
No
You know how
doubt.
that
How
go.
y'all feeling, man? Y'all had a good week so far?
So far, so good.
Bruh.
No doubt, man.
Slow motion for me. I finally had
So,
some off days.
you say what now?
I finally had some off days. Friday was my first off day in like 220 days.
Man, you
Ah,
grinding. Shit,
Word
ain't
up.
nothing wrong with
yes.
that, bro. You gotta
Yes,
get it,
yes,
bro.
yes.
Holiday season popping up. Kids need toys.
Well, that's an interesting topic you said to me. Because of today's topic, I really live that. I don't do these holidays.
Mm,
I
okay.
don't do them.
All right, before we get into it, man, thank y'all for coming in and tapping in with your boy. LO is the host, and I'm coming in for a treat. Usually we have different topics, relationship related, but this one is real near and dear to me. It's been a lot of things that I've been seeing and going on with the sports world, entertainment world, and things that we've already seen throughout history. Motherfuckers, secret society and all these type of, everybody want to protect their bag. They don't want to stand up. So you had a situation where um, our fellow brother, not Kyrie, I ain't got on him yet, but Kanye West, known as Ye, he went on Drink Champs and started spewing out crazy things. Now, you've always said crazy things according to the world, so we think, right? Because always in hindsight with him, we always go to the point, oh, damn, that's what he meant. Oh, shit. Oh, a lot of people slow. So then, he goes on Drink Champs and talks about how, he could say anti-Semitic things and he just can't do nothing. They dropped his ass. Then we got Kyrie Irving, I think, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because he didn't say nothing at all. He just so happened to post something right after Kanye's, you know, shenanigans, if you would say. And now, here we are. So I'm gonna let one of y'all fellas go in and let me know how you feel. Let me know, what you got to say as far as filling the topic, man. I'll let one of you guys. So matter of fact, Rich, you go ahead because I'm really intrigued on what you got to say, brother.
um.
Kick us off.
So I don't know. I feel like we've always known like these things. You know what I'm saying? That Ye and Kyrie have been accused of saying or whatever, and like the recourse. I do think the recourse is just it's overplayed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the business ventures that they're that they're going through and getting suspended from and things like that. I think that none of that should really be public information. Like we all don't need to know that shit. You feel me? But as
Right.
far as like my
Man,
whole
Tone, what's up,
perspective.
baby?
What up, though? My whole perspective on like because I didn't know a whole lot about the Kyrie thing, but so I'll let y'all, you know, get in on that one. But my whole perspective of the Kanye West thing is, you know, I like to leave things in their proper perspective, right? Like Kanye West is a person that doesn't stick to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like he understands that he can say what he wants to say, right? And aside from the anti-Semitic, I had to actually look that up. I didn't even know what that was. You feel what I'm saying? And once I looked it up, I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't what threw me for, you know, with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just other stuff. Like, for me, it was like a whole bunch of like anti-black stuff that he says, right? And, you know, we could say, oh, it's because, you know, the drugs, or it's because of whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that he's never held accountable for that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's really hard for me to be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm sad for him and nothing, like, because I'm not really sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think of anybody who's like a billionaire, you think of them not being a billionaire more, meaning that they're only going to be 100-something millionaire. That doesn't really make you sad. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you went from being a thousandaire to having $1, that would make me sad. You feel what I'm saying? But like, you going from a billionaire to a 700 millionaire, I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was starting whole GoFundMes for this nigga. Like, what the fuck, bro? You couldn't start a GoFundMe for your cousin, but you gonna start it for this billionaire nigga. Like, fuck that. And it's like, okay, sure, he had a plan, right? And that's his business. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta just look at it as. That's all I see it as, just business. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see it as nothing else, because his business is his business. You can't do business like that. You feel what I'm saying? You're not gonna have the same effect. So the fact that we get to see that is detrimental to us, because we're not playing the same game Kanye West is playing. You know what I'm saying? And even if we were playing that same game, we don't hold the same position he does. So there are certain things that he can get away with, that he knows he can get away with, that we can't get away with. And it would hurt us way more to try to follow behind that, because we haven't left a long trail of things that we could fall back on like he has up to this point. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So what threw me was, this fool said, so you know how he said the thing about George Floyd, right?
With the fentanyl getting shot in him and all that.
Yeah, like he was saying, like, I could prove that he didn't die from like a foot on his neck, right? That made a lot of us mad, right? Right. Now, if he would have just stood on that and just died on that hill, I would have respected him more. But he apparently like issued, you know, an apology. But he was like in a crowd full of people, right? Right. And this fool had the nerve to say, you know, I apologize to people that look like me, right? He's avoiding saying black, but he's like, I apologize to the community that look like me, because now I know what it feels like to have a knee on my neck. And he's referring to his deal with like Adidas and shit. And I'm like, that's some hoe ass shit to say, Kanye, because that is a real thing. You can't metaphorically speak on a real thing. A real person died of a real murder, and you compare that to what's going on with you and Adidas. That's enough to make me never listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even matter if you ever say something that is fact. I don't even care, because whatever it is you're saying that's fact, I probably already know it anyway. But at the same time, I know that there's nothing that you say that you stand on. You feel what I'm saying? You just say things and then you walk off. You know what I mean? So that's basically always been my stance with like him and people like him. It's like, you know, I just take everything you say with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kanye is off himself though.
A little bit, a little bit. And it's, you know, we not the ones to set him straight. It has to be like his circle, you know.
Because we don't have the power to do that. I mean, we do actually have the power to do that, but we won't. Yeah. And we're going to keep saving them, like, because we want to love Kanye. We want to,
because he's our brother.
But, you know, he does what he does, and that turns people off. You know, with the fentanyl thing that he said on Drink Champs, honestly, that was a perspective from someone else. And that's my only gripe with Kanye, is that he said it himself, he don't read. So that's the problem. He doesn't educate himself before he just go off and he just spew these words. Now, a lot of the stuff, some of them does, you know, make sense and it is true. Yeah. Okay. But when you go into more into like the fentanyl thing, it's like the shot and all that. Like, come on, man, we ain't got no proof.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And just because you are Kanye West, we're not letting you get away with that, bro.
Nah,
because if you was somebody regular, like if it was any of y'all, I wouldn't let y'all get away with saying that shit. Like, say it was your auntie, and I said some shit like that about your auntie.
Right.
You would never.
All right, Tank, go ahead, sound off for me, bro. What you think about all this nonsense, man?
Proverbs 27:17.
Hold on, I got my word out too, brother.
Proverbs, turn it to it. Proverbs 27:17.
Give me a second. It's been a while since I've been in this thing, so here we go. Back. Damn. You said 27:17.
I thought we was having our conversation about Semitic truth, not this superficial shit about some goddamn fucking prima donna billionaire. But
well, that's the whole precept of it. That's the whole precept of it. That's the introduction.
Here's what we're gonna get into.
To that.
I'm about to get into that. Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one man does another.
Exactly.
So we're gonna sharpen iron on this one. The reason why I cut into it on this, like the superficial side of it, and we're supposed to be talking about the geopolitical part of this, the deeper part of this, not the superficial part. Not the superficial part of it. Kanye spoke. All right, well, I'm gonna get on this about Rich. Rich, you brought up the Drink Champ shit. When he brought up George Floyd, he was talking about Candace Owens' documentary. He didn't make those statements himself. He was talking about someone else's documentary.
Right.
Now, as far as the deeper problem with us as black people, so-called black people in these United States, is that we don't have a so-called culture other than hip-hop. This is the reason why these hip-hop and entertainers have such an influence on our people, because this is the first time in the 400 years we've been on this side of the world that we've been able to practice our own culture. So we got to talk about the geopolitical parts of this, not the superficial part of Kanye losing money and all of that stuff. That is very small. That is like a hair on a gnat's ball sack. To what's
definitely minute.
Now, what's really going on is the man spoke up about how can we be anti-Semitic. By the definition of the words Semitic, that has to do with Afro or Asiatic language. So there is no way that you can be African or Asian and be anti-Semitic, because that is what you are. This is what we are.
Or Hebrew.
Semitic. We're Hebrew. We are that. Everything down to the practices of, think about this one. When the transatlantic slave trade went down, why were so many of the West Africans picked up by other West Africans and sold off, but other ones weren't? Because they sold off the ones that were not Muslim. They sold off the Christians and the Hebrews. Even down to the genetic markers, these 23andMe's is showing up that these black folks over here, right here, our cousins, our friends, our brothers, are testing out as Bantu, testing out as Igbo, testing out as Oyo. These are all African tribes who test out genetically as Semitic people. We could talk about and this is what it is. And every time somebody comes forward identifying with being a true Hebrew or being a Rasta, it's a problem. It's a problem. They start getting,
and that's what I want to get to the bottom of.
All of that. Well, it's some of these rabbis that I was listening to in the wake of all of this, and some of these white rabbis are coming forward saying that a lot of this has to do with the fact that many white Jews, I'm not going to say the J, I'm going to say the white Jews, are hiding behind white supremacy and using minority protection. And they're doubling off on it. And they're using that status to get free money from the United States government So this is another set of people who are getting reparations before we are. So now, if we come forward talking about we are truly these people, that means somebody got to cut the check twice. So this is a geopolitical situation that we got going on here. And this shit is deeper than these damn celebrities. It's way deeper than them. The fact that we don't have one black-owned music distribution company in a goddamn fucking industry full of fucking niggas and their creativity getting raped from them every single day. Why you think Michael Jackson dead? You think he died of an overdose?
No, we know what's going on with that.
Why you think Prince gone? You think he
powers
died of
that
an
be.
overdose?
Powers
This
that
all
be.
got to do with them dudes outsmarting them people, getting their masters, and playing business. But us as a people need to be paying attention to how these people stick together. If they, and then let's not say it's all used, because it's a lot of poor white trash that are used as well. So it's not all of them. It's the elites that are in position that are working amongst each other the same way that other people get into power and work amongst each other. So this is all this is about. This is a geopolitical situation here going on. And we talking about a man, Kanye West. Now let's talk about the superficial shit. We talking about a man who was just on the last damn ballot for president. He was just on the last ballot for president. He trying to run again. So of course we're going to play these games to make this man look like a damn fool so we don't have to deal with him. He's been at war with the Democratic Party since Barack Obama called him a jackass. Let's be real here. All this power and influence we think these entertainers got, it's because we give it to them.
Of course. We give everybody that power. Either they singers, rappers, basketball players, anybody. We give all that power to them because everybody cherishes these people so much. That's what's going on with Kanye. So the thing was that the reason why Kanye, they started to cut you off. The reason why Kanye and Kyrie was brought up, it was to warm up the topic as to why, or is our truth anti-Semitic to them. And it's mighty funny when we are starting to express ourselves or we start to find out our heritage, you know, it's offensive to them. It's a knock to them. And I want to understand and figure out why is that. You know, I know we probably can't answer that too much because we're not them, but we can damn sure look up the definition in the history and look up things that's in the Bible, and you can say like, wow, a lot of this stuff is not promised to them.
I know I said a mouthful, but that white rabbi that I quoted earlier, he explained it. He explained that the fact that they get minority protection for their religious status, but then they also get to hide behind white supremacy. So they get to wear their white hat and their minority hat. And let's also remember who bankrolled the civil rights movement.
So what we do now? So we got to call them out on that. We got to call them out. But hold on, let me get my man Tone in. Tone,
okay, go ahead, Tone. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, look, real talk. You just kind of touched on a lot that I was gonna touch on. You know what I'm saying? So just for the record, that both of y'all, everybody been on spot on right now. Just for the record, but I do want to just say, I just find it funny that when you look up, because like you said, you looked it up. I looked it up too. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it funny that when you look up what the Semitic is, and then when you look up what anti-Semitic is, it's two totally different definitions. It's not even in the same realm to a certain degree, because when you look up Semitic, it talks about Arabs, Jews, and race. But when you look up anti-Semitic, it specifically said on Google against the Jews, right? Yep. I was like, damn.
And may I add, that's only 1/12 of all of the tribes that fall under that. So why are you more important than the other 11 tribes? I don't get it.
Exactly. So that go back to that unity situation. You feel me? And that's really what it is. Don't get me wrong, man. When you kind of learn, I know quite a few people. I know a few of them that gave me some background on what stuff is and how they operate. But realistically, what I do know is that they are solid on teaching about money. That's one thing that they do that don't nobody else really do, is educate their kids about money, and they start stupid early. You know what I'm saying? They don't wait till you out of college. They start at the early Hanukkah seasons and the bar mitzvahs and all of that when them kids getting broke off. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that when they do that, they also teaching them about what it is, how it work, and all of that, bro. So honestly, man, I think realistically as a people, if we focus on just that one small aspect of it, even though I ain't even gonna say small, real talk, that's huge. Because if you think about it, don't nobody talk about how to get money, man. Or I ain't gonna say how to get it. Don't nobody talk about the
How to
history
keep
of
it.
money. You got to do your own research,
Right.
to find out about the history of money, where it came from, and all of that, right? When that's something that everybody need to function in today's age. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that us as a people can do better. Is number one, learn about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just get money. You know, you got people out here teaching their kids whole stacks of money up to their ear and all this dumb shit when they don't even understand who owned the bill. They don't even understand the words that's on the bills. They don't even understand why it's a bill versus the actual precious metals that they used to represent. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of that we need to rewind collectively. But at the same time, it seems like it's hard to do because this ain't our system. You see what I'm saying? We so far deep down the rabbit hole that this ain't even our system. So just like you said, you know, everything they making money off of, they making money off of us. Everything. And I ain't gonna say they. I'm gonna just say realistically, you can look this up right now. You cannot have a #1 selling product without the Negroes. You can't do it. I don't give a fuck what you sell.
If
You
we
can't.
don't buy it.
You can't have a #1 selling product without
Brother
Yeah.
Tom, they did a study where they said if just the black community in America boycotted the holiday season, nigga, we'd be in economic ruin by Easter.
I believe that.
And that's I
Right.
believe that.
I believe
that, bro. Because
Yo,
we the main ones going out and spending all this money every year,
I mean,
all year round.
exactly.
I
But
don't
listen,
at
that's
all.
why
I
it all
don't
works.
at all. I don't fool with it at all. There's not one. Did they celebrate Christmas in the Bible?
No.
So do you think
holiday.
I got a tree in the corner right now? Hell no.
Right.
So that's my point. Like a lot of things that's in this Bible. I think now that I've been hearing about this Hebrew Israelite stuff, and you know, we are the Jews. I've been hearing this for a long time. This ain't nothing that's new to me. So it's something about Kanye and all them putting that online. That's nothing new. That ain't something that I just got hipped on because of them. But my question is like, it seems like this thing right here has been so misrepresented, and this has been in our face for so long that it speaks to us a lot. Like even King James, a white man wrote this, but King James is a black man.
No, Shakespeare. Shakespeare was the scribe.
But Shakespeare ain't us. You know what I'm saying? It's Shakespearean language because that's the only way they can break it down in that text at that time.
If you go back far enough, English was actually a West African dialect of Latin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything we got comes from the Latin word, or that's why you see that in the dictionary.
Yeah, and this is real verifiable history. So you know, this is why I don't get caught up in any of that kind of stuff right there, because a lot of them British royals are so mixed up with Negroes and Arabs and shit anyway, it don't make no sense. Right. They really are not as white as they pretend to be.
Yeah.
You know? So it is what it is. Well, it's funny we keep bringing up Kanye, but let's not forget Kanye grew up in a GD neighborhood.
Right.
You grow up in a GD neighborhood, you're definitely gonna hear Hebrew Israelite teachings.
For sure.
Facts, for sure. Yeah.
So
I've heard it when I go to Chicago. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right.
Exactly. You're gonna hear that. And then on top of that, that comes from the South. That actually come from Alabama and Mississippi. They brought that up north with them. Mm-hmm. They had been talking Hebrew Israelite teachings in the South. Mm-hmm. My great grandfather was a Hebrew Israelite preacher. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
This is why I never like my grandfathers. My mother's grandfather never put up a damn Christmas tree. His wife may have, but he never fooled with it. And it's like that. I understand this stuff. Just like
so now that we got this,
go ahead.
We got these tools. We got all these tools. We got all this truth. I think this and that. And Kyrie spoke on this. I think that, and I agree. This is I'm agreeing with the brother. I think that this generation, us, what they would call us the millennials, we have a lot of knowledge of. I think we need to bridge the gap with the baby boomers. That's one. And two, we need to. I think that this generation is very key moving forward, because I think we have a lot of knowledge of the bullshit, especially all the stuff about college. You know, honestly, things I know about going to college and everything, the experiences was cool, but how it put me in so much financial debt. If I had known about what I know now in these times, back then when it was you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college. That was the push. And then you got a lot of us in our generation is just so in debt because we took out all these loans. We done went to all these fancy colleges and all these degrees that people got. I would say about, 75% of people I graduated with, bro, ain't using their degrees.
They burning their degree to keep
I was about to say,
house.
I think that never happened for me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's really fucked up. Like, y'all really push this agenda on us to keep us in debt pretty much, which is nothing but another control tactic. So
you really hit on something about the boomers. Hey, you hit on something about the boomers, man. I really don't think we can bridge the gap with them because they had a whole 70s or 80s or $75 mortgages and still lost the houses and shit. There is really not much that a lot of them can really teach us that are beneficial for our future.
Right. But you know what? That go back to that money conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they had $75
mortgages.
I get it. But you got to think of where the money was at, though. You could go grocery shopping with $15 back then. You feel
right? But see, I'm talking about back when minimum wage was $3.80.
Right,
brother. You go to work 8 hours, man. Shit, you a week's worth of work, you paying the whole damn mortgage $75.
Yeah.
Can I chime in?
Rich? Go ahead, Rich.
So, I was listening, y'all talking about like the whole money thing. I think that the best way that we'll be able to, get ahead of that curve is if we first understand that money in itself is not really real. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand a whole lot of things. We understand systems of control. We have to understand that that's what money is. Money's not a real, money doesn't have its own value. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you took every dollar in the world and put it in a room, it wouldn't do anything. You see what I'm saying? Like, the only thing it's good for is like burning and or spending it. But it's like a video game, right? Like, it's a simulation. So we're all in a simulation, right? And in order for us to get things inside of the simulation, we have to collect these tokens, these vouchers. There's no rule to say how you can collect it. It's just,
there's plenty of rules.
There's a bunch of rules on that.
There's plenty of rules on that, big bro.
Breaking said laws, right? There's some kind of punishment for it, depending on who you are, right? But if you don't get caught, there's no rule to say how you can make money. And you can literally make money doing any fucking thing.
Hey, Rich,
because it's not real. You see what I'm saying?
That's some real shit. You said some real shit about money not being real. But let me throw the curve.
Wait. Go ahead,
Rich.
So with that being said, right, if we understand that, then we have to continuously implement that as truth, right? Yes, money is not real. However, what you do for money is real. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people are millionaires and are billionaires because they were willing to do the things that we find morally wrong. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to do the same thing you did for $1 million. I don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? So I have to be okay with not having what a millionaire has. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, because I know money's not real, I know that at some point I can get what that millionaire has, even though I'm not a millionaire.
I'm gonna tell you, like,
it doesn't take money to get the shit.
Money really ain't shit, though. Does money make you rich? Does money actually make you rich?
No, it really don't, because if you 3/5 of a person by the laws of the land, you got 3/5 a dollar any goddamn way.
It don't even matter. What I'm saying
your $1 million is worth $600,000.
what I'm saying is the worth that, just like how y'all was saying, we put value on celebrities, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do the same thing with money. We put the value on it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to. We just choose to, right?
Choose to.
Like for instance, if I asked all of y'all right now, does it cost money to build a house? Most of y'all would say yes.
Yes,
right?
because I build houses.
Because but the truth of the matter is it doesn't. All it takes is ingenuity, and it takes enough muscle to build the fucking house.
Brother,
I'm a brother. You just need resources to build a house.
Yeah, but you need
no. You gotta understand what I'm saying. Money is just a barter system.
Yeah,
my brother.
If you know how to build a house, and Tone know how to plumb, and like how to be a plumber, and Tink know how to motherfucking garden. If all four of us know how to do those things, we don't need money to get those things.
Right. Yes, we do.
Okay, all right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Brother, I'm a whole contractor, dog. I do estimates. I have to deal with these building materials. This shit costs money. It costs resources. We ain't able, what we gonna build the house with? We can't build a house with mud. Not one that's gonna sustain an earthquake or anything going on.
Yes, you can.
Not nothing that's gonna sustain on the North American terrain. Brother, I deal with building codes every single day.
Do you know what it takes to build a house that can withstand an earthquake?
Yes, I'm a contractor.
That's all you need. You feel what I'm saying?
No,
all you need is that know-how, right? So basically, all you need is the know-how, and you can do that.
Brother,
but you still, but what about all the material, the wood?
I say, and see, this is where I have a problem with our civil rights movement, because it was this kind of ideological shit that got us in the situation we're in right now. We had too many teachers, too many lawyers, and too many doctors running a damn thing where we needed economists and businessmen. We needed people in the infrastructure, not people who just sit in the infrastructure just teaching ideological shit. Them books ain't gonna fucking build no house.
And that's the trick.
These hands.
You see what I'm saying? The fact that you believe it's
not about believing.
That's why it works.
Brother, I do this every day.
It doesn't work unless you believe that shit.
Dog,
but this the thing, though.
I just told you I did this shit. I've been building 200 and something days in a row. I just told you this. That shit costs money. Trust me.
No, I bet it do. Go ahead, Tom. Let my man Tom get his off. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I was about to say what he's saying is realistically the idea of money. It's the idea of money. Just right now, we all know. I said it earlier. We need money to live. Realistically, we don't. You know why? Because the planet was functioning way before money. You feel me?
Right. We had all the resources and everything.
You see what I'm saying? So we all agree over time that money is important, and that goes back to, once again, that goes back to that problem that I was talking about. That ties in with all of this. Just like you was talking about college. You know why everybody went to college? Because it was a money play.
It was a
money play. Because the at the college don't know them niggas ain't rich. You feel me?
I literally felt.
Just keep it real. And I'm gonna say this on live. I done been to all the colleges in Michigan. I ain't never signed up for class. And I'm gonna keep it real. And this is funny shit. I was getting money at a lot of them bitches. You hear me? But just keeping it 100,000. The reason why was because my mother passed when I was a kid, bro. I ended up paying my way through high school, and I understood what I had to go through to do that. So I was turned off on the idea of paying to go to college. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm not knocking nobody that went to college. I'm not knocking nobody who made that decision. It's even blessed enough to be put in that predicament, because that was meant for everybody who did it, everybody who doing it. That was meant for y'all. But me being able to be first off, to be in a position to have to make that decision at a young age, you know what I'm saying, was one thing. But at the same time, I was still able to go visit my people at their colleges and understand what the game was. So it wasn't too long after that I understood that a lot of these folks that I know that going to college, they may be, whether it was off scholarships or whether it was off they people having money, it didn't matter. All of them was going there to pay the college, right? To create these student loan debts, which wasn't nothing but a money play. You know what I'm saying? They force education, which is very important. Don't get it twisted. But you can't just say education because if I'm teaching you the wrong shit, then it doesn't matter.
Fuck up.
You see what I'm saying? So when you got people signing up, you know what I'm saying? You got people signing up for this shit, and they going to colleges and really devoting their time and effort towards college in general. once again, that was something, number one, to free up time, or let me rephrase that, to keep motherfuckers busy. Because if you think about it, the age gap where you go to college is really the time where most people kind of really figuring themselves out. So if you've been through this school system, why not add another 4 years to really mold you into being the person, the citizen that we want you to be collectively? You know what I'm saying?
With that being said, how do we get back to that start? Because I think it's up to us to push that. Because we, the people above, our generation, the generation before us, our parents, baby boomers, they ain't gonna push that.
Right.
Because they so stuck in their ways, and they already in retirement mode. But we out here grinding, we all boots on the ground. So it's like, what do we do now? Do we continue to allow the kids that we have go through the same bullshit that we went through and go through, or hear the same knowledge that we heard, or do we change the narrative? Especially about, like not to get off of the whole topic itself, when it talks about anti-Semitism and our history is us as Black folks. It's like, what do we teach our kids? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking about, is the solution moving forward from now. Like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, at some point, we always talk about these generational curses. I always hear our generation talk about generational curses, but we still going day to day like ain't nothing happening.
Right.
We not changing the way we live. We not changing the way we think. We not even really finding out our history, our true history, which is key piece for us to change, bro.
Well,
I think that is key piece.
I think we cursed because
we are cursed.
We're cursed because we're not living our true culture. I read this book called Social Identity, and it spoke about how in a capitalistic system, when you have no culture, you have no identity. So when we're living in these United States, pretty much as we're living like bastard poor white trash. At best, the average common Negro, as they call us, has poor white trash ambitions. At best. At best. Because that's all we had learned. That's all we learned. Poor white trash ambitions. And still to this day, our culture is still tied up in that. So once we let go, step back away from all this idolatry that we going through with these entertainers and all these artists and shit, and we got to get back to our culture. I think we need less Du Bois, more Garvey.
Yeah, facts.
I got a problem with the fact that I Have a Dream is embedded in all our psychology. But Haile Selassie said a much more important speech about race relations to the League of Nations. Have you ever heard the song War by Bob Marley? He's singing the words of the speech. You understand what I'm saying? That was more important than talking about little black boys and little white girls holding hands in harmony. That meant a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Right. We need more infrastructure, less entertainment. If we need to get this microphone out of these illiterate niggas' hands and put a fucking hammer or a goddamn drill in their hand. We need more building, less entertainment. That's what the fuck we need. We need more doing, less ideological shit. Stop all this idea. I get mad when people call me king. Like, what's up, king? I be like, whoa, don't do that. Don't do
My
that.
bad. I called you that earlier. My bad, dog.
No,
not all of us.
You good, brother? Because my problem with being called a king in this current state of what we living in, it's an insult. It's a motherfucking insult. It's a slap in the face.
If we are the true Hebrew Israelites, we were never kings.
Wait a second. It was too many kings. It's too many kings in that lineage.
We were never kings, bro.
It's too many kings in that lineage, my brother. No, how you think? Okay, all right. Historical. I'm about to go historical with you. Why do you think?
Who in here? What Hebrew Israelite in here
Was a king.
Was a king.
David and Solomon. How do you think the Limbas in South Africa even got the
He
white
was a
chromosome?
Hebrew Israelite?
Why do you think the Limba tribe in South Africa, how did the priesthood get all the way down to South Africa? Why? Because Solomon's mines was in Ophir, outside of South Africa. They had the connection all the way down there. The man procreated with an Ethiopian queen. We're talking about people who tribally, when you go to these villages, they still they slaughter the goat in a kosher practice.
Okay.
They circumcise their sons in kosher practices, minus the weird shit they do over here when they circumcise the babies. If you know what I'm talking about, it's kind of weird, but we ain't gonna get into what them Jews do. But they doing the same practices over on the tribes. Still,
I guess my question. I guess my the question is when you ask that kind of question, Lo, it's a multi-layered question, right? Because first of all, the first question is, are we change here? Are we taking it somewhere else? Right? That's the first question.
Right.
The second question is, how do we do that without repeating what our predecessors did to get where they were, right? Like, we understand how America came to be America. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah, it was stolen.
I don't know, out of this generation or any generation for that matter, of people who look like us that is willing to do all of that. Everything that Christopher Columbus did, and anybody that looked like Christopher Columbus did, to maintain and build America the way America is. You feel what I'm saying?
Christopher Columbus,
but didn't he do that?
Willing
Didn't he do
to
that for money though?
Cristobal Colombo was on a Cristobal Colombo. Funny, because Cristobal Colombo was a Jew. He was a Jew himself. He actually
he was a Jew or Jewish.
But I'm saying, like,
I'm not trying to say the word. I'm
to,
trying not to say the word, Lo.
I'm gonna say it. He was
okay.
ish. He was ish. All right.
Yes. Listen to the story. He was banished for his crimes with the other Jews that was getting kicked out of Spain. And they told him, listen, he was in jail. He was in jail because they was kicking him out of Spain. They kicked the Jews, they kicked the Moors, and they kicked the Arabs out of Spain at the Battle of Granada in 1491. They put Cristobal Colombo in prison. They knew he had navigation skills, and they put him on a kamikaze mission with them maps they took from the Arabs. That's what the fuck happened.
Before those people came to America, were there already people in America?
Yes.
Okay, hold that thought.
But what people?
People in America.
I'm gonna tell you who were in America. Who was in America?
And murdered. And
I'm about to give you the who was in America when.
No, wait. Before you
I'm telling you the words from Christopher Columbus's joke.
What I'm asking is this, because we got people that's watching it. You feel what I'm saying? And everybody not like deep into like the history and everything. What I'm saying, I just want to keep it simple, right? So the people that were here before they got here, were they murdered? Pillaged,
from
raped.
Christopher Columbus's journal, when the first voyage to the New World, he came across mosques because the Arabs had already been coming to Hispaniola. He also came across Africans, Negroes, natives that looked Asian, so they called them. They called them copper-toned Asians and Negroes. They came across.
Did they look like the Asians? Do they look like the Asians of today, or did the Asians back then look like us?
The Asians back then were darker hued. The Asians lightened up. Asians lightened up when the Japanese came across and did their conquering with the samurai and all of that. That was when Asians really started lightening up as far as their skin tone. And then they always had wars with, the Russians that were up there coming through Mongolia and going back and forth. So that was when they started lightening up. But they had always traditionally had been darker hued. You know what I'm saying? So, but Christopher Columbus came across Africans, Native Americans, Tainos, because that was the main tribes he came across was Tainos in Puerto Rico and Cuba. But once he got to Hispaniola, which is Haiti and Dominican Republic, he came across mosques because they had already been coming back and forth. The Arabs and the Africans had already been trading with the Americas for centuries, way before all of this. Even down to them figuring out that Atlantis is off the coast of West Africa.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So all of this has been hidden history and everything going on. They play with us too much. But
what I'm
regardless,
saying is,
it wasn't
we
Christopher
know,
Columbus. It was not Christopher Columbus
that's
who
fine.
actually came
that's fine.
and did all
so
of it.
Say it wasn't Christopher Columbus. That ain't even the most important part of what I'm trying to get to. What I'm saying is, we know how things became to be. We understand what a conqueror is. We understand what a dictator is. We understand what all of these things are. We understand that from just from reading. You understand? Just from history, we understand what these things are, right? And we understand that most new worlds, if not all, have been built off of those practices. You feel what I'm saying? So if we are to build a new world, are we willing to practice those things? That's the question that we all have.
We need to.
But
I understand what you're saying, but we need to.
I'm gonna get into
we
this.
Need
so,
to.
Look, because we don't want to have the wrong people on our ass. That's not even the kind of conversations we will be having on this kind of situation here. That's going back into idealism. If it was really about that, if it was really about that, you would not be trying to have that kind of conversation on a live broadcast on the World Wide Web so you can make us hot.
Nah, I mean, we not.
Okay, we gotta be realistic.
But I'm just being
are we gonna be real?
Are
we gonna be realistic here? Because
we can't skim
guess
over
what?
it. Like,
guess what? Bullets cost money.
Kind of thing.
Hey, bullets cost money. Man, you said
honestly,
money.
We already kind of doing that. We already making it hot. It's about having the
You
conversation.
understand what I'm saying? So
we already making it hot.
Well,
all and all of the knowledge that we exchanging,
really making it.
None of that
really making it.
Kind of making it hot already, bro. This ain't conversations they want us to have.
I don't think we were ready. I just don't think that that's a thing for us. I don't think we were ready. I really don't.
Of course,
I don't think so.
Of course we're not.
So it's gonna take a minute. We not gonna see it. We not gonna see this shit. But it's gonna happen.
We've had 70 years of social buck breaking and believing in dreams. We got sold a dream a long fucking time ago, and we still selling ourselves a dream now.
So Tink, I'm gonna ask you this: Kanye's comment about slavery being a choice. Do you think that is today?
Fuck yes.
Because we're slaving under money.
Hell, hey man. First off, yes, it's a choice today. It's a choice today. You can go get your money.
So we choosing to continue to be slaves under the power of the dollar.
I don't.
Yes, we are.
Well,
I
can't speak for you.
Nothing wrong with that being a reality.
I can't speak for you.
Hold on, one mic. Go ahead, Tink.
I can't speak for anybody else, but I know I make my own money. And it's been a bitch. It's been a road less travel. It's hard. It's not paved because I got to pave it my motherfucking self. But this is where
independent. Is that independent or that's corporation?
Independent corporation, my guy. I do my own thing.
Okay. Well then,
I've been doing my own thing.
If you making money independently and you build your own corporation, fine.
Hey,
but
anybody can build hey, wait a second. Anybody can build a corporation.
But if you corporate
in your state, look, hold on. In your state, low, $150, you can join corporate America. Rich, in your state, $600, you can join corporate America. Tone, I don't know what state you in, but you can do it in Delaware for free, huh?
He here in the D.
Right. Okay, 150, same there. But see, I mean, if you know the game, you can play the game. But if you sitting here still blaming white supremacy, and all that
Right.
shit, you're not gonna be in the mental mind state to
You're
get out
correct.
here and put your feet on the ground in the
You
first
correct.
fucking place.
So
You're
that's
gonna try
my
and
point,
fail.
right?
You're gonna try and fail, try and fail, try and fail. You're gonna do what you do, but you gotta keep on
But
plugging
you see
away.
what I'm saying though? Like you have a point. You're correct, right? But what I'm saying is you can't say that you have to play the game how you play the game and then say that you're not playing the game. You're playing
No,
the game.
you gotta play
right?
your
Playing the game how you
No.
want to play.
What I'm saying is you have to understand what your means are, your ends are, right?
Yeah.
The means to whatever end you have. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're an independent contractor and you're making your own money, because the money that you're making is not your own. You see what I'm saying? You don't print money. The government prints money. If the government says that money has no more value,
They
you're
about to
broke
do that.
again.
No,
You understand what I'm
no,
saying?
no, no,
You
no,
can't
no,
just
no,
glaze
no,
over that
no,
and feel like
Hold on,
it
brother.
is what it
Brother,
is.
see,
Okay.
you having,
Okay. I mean,
you about that, you
that's
having the
what it
wrong,
is.
hey, you having the wrong conversation with the right guy. See, look here, I'm resource rich before anything else. And as I know, as a black man in America, by these fucked up laws, we are 3/5 of a person. So being that we 3/5 of a fucking person, we got 3/5 of a
that's
dollar.
in their game though.
We got 3/5 of a dollar. So 3/5 of a dollar. And wait. So in 3/5 of a dollar, I make sure that my resources is outside of these dollars.
So what I'm asking is, how is that different than what I said?
It's a whole lot.
You understand what I'm
different.
saying? You're
Because
saying
that's
what
not
I
the
said
only,
already.
that's not the only
It is
thing
the
I
same
do.
thing.
My brother, I'm not
That's why we
one-dimensional.
have a problem, because we keep thinking that we saying different shit and we're not. We have to be on one accord, bro. If money is not
we
real
3/5 of a man
at
in
all,
their
then
game.
money is not real at all. It doesn't matter if we play the game to make the money to move ahead.
You take your money,
it doesn't matter.
You take your
we still
money,
know
you
what we
take
know.
your money and you make it real.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
yes, that
So
is
you
how
That's
it
not
works.
how that works.
So you say
It's not how that works.
independence is making it real, making it a real dollar?
Look at Donald Trump,
you gotta
for
make your
instance,
money
right?
real, bro. It's a
Look
whole
at
lot
Donald
of
Trump,
ways
for
to make
instance,
your
right?
money real.
If Donald Trump, right? If Donald Trump was no longer a billionaire, what would Donald Trump be good for?
Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing, right? Because Donald Trump don't know how to do shit useful, right?
See,
so where
we
your
talking
money
about
is,
Rich.
where the
We
real
talking about
currency
Rich. We're
is
talking
what
about
you
Rich
can do.
and
That's
Julian.
useful.
We're talking about Rich and Julian's solutions to what's going on. Why do you keep bringing up fictional characters like Donald
They're
Trump?
not fictional. Donald Trump is a real person.
We talking about
Fictional
right now,
because
right here.
that
I'm
matters.
giving
When
you.
you
I'm
start
trying to
talking
give
about
you.
you
I'm
making
trying
money
to give you
independently,
solutions.
you're like those people.
I'm giving
That's not
you
a fictional
solutions,
person.
sir. Sir.
So look,
where's the? That's
So
not
well,
a
hold on, Rich. Hold on, Rich. So what is actually the solution you trying to bear, bro?
Right.
Independence. We know that.
No,
but that doesn't make it real, though.
Listen. You take your money. You have to use your money. You have to use your resourcefulness, because there are things that have value that are outside of the United States dollar system.
Right. Okay. So our resources is actually was more power, more than the dollar.
This is the reason. Do you understand why the United States government give these dope dealers such high numbers for the amounts of drugs they got?
Are you talking about the time?
Yes. Because the IRS puts a monetary value on that person because of the amount of drugs that they had on them. If you had a kilo, they're going to charge you for every single one of those 1,000 grams that you're not paying taxes on. It's actually a white-collar crime. Hence why you go to federal prison for it.
Right, which is the drugs.
This is where the problem comes in. Now, we in Black America like to try to separate business from the streets when every other fucking financial system in the world, the streets and the damn fucking business is blended. And we sit up here trying to play like we gotta be square and get by and all this old bullshit. When all
I'm a revert. I ain't revert to no comments, but I'm gonna get it to him. But I'm gonna revert to this comment right here. D Diddy 1784. He said exactly, resources equal more than money. That's what I'm saying. Like our resources, that just kind of outweighs everything, bro. Like if you
Okay,
have
so
more
now,
resources, that's more
so now
assets to
this
you.
is our problem. When we thinking about resources, like if you live in Michigan, what's the infrastructure? For real, for real. It's not really the cars no more. It's part of it. That's part of the infrastructure still.
In Michigan,
Yes, it's
that's
part
all
of
we
the
got. That
infrastructure.
weed.
No, salt. That's something that we
Nah,
don't be. We not. We don't be. We don't.
salt is not our main
Man,
source of income,
a
bro.
No,
multi-billion-dollar
yeah,
business
it
that
do
is
play
up.
major, bro.
Salt is a big business. There is a whole fucking world of tunnels right under your feet right now where they are operating 365. Them people getting big money off that salt up under y'all. So that's part of the
without
infrastructure.
money,
So
would salt not exist?
it would still be work. Nigga, salt was
Would
one of the
salt
first
not
forms
exist
of
without
money.
money?
Salt was one of the first forms of money.
Is salt a natural resource?
Right.
Salt
Yes.
is a natural
Does
resource.
it not exist without money? Is the question.
It still existed because it was the first form
Without
of money.
money, right?
It
Whether I
exists.
have money or not, salt still
If
exists, right?
money was to go away
Okay.
tomorrow, if tomorrow they were like, you know what, there's no more money, bro. There's still going to be more salt.
And it's still gonna have its worth because that's gonna probably be the money in the form.
It's not going to be no worth.
Look,
Nothing's going to be worth. It's all going to be bargain. All is
brother,
going to be bargaining now.
no.
Money's no more.
No,
Money's no more.
No, because some
Money
things are
is
still
no more.
Hey,
Nope.
it's still
Money
gonna.
is
Some
no
things
more.
are still worth. No, some things are still worth more than others. If we fight
money
the war,
is
wait
no
a minute,
more.
hold on.
There's no currency.
Wait. I'm about to fuck you up with this one. I understand this shit. I completely have an understanding of this. Salt has its value, right? Gold.
What is it backed by?
Wait, gold has its value. Now that gold, if the money goes out of the picture, that gold gonna still have its value because each and every last one of us are talking on a device that is powered by gold. That is far more useful than that salt. So you're gonna have to have a whole lot of motherfucking salt to add up to that value of that gold. So we can still sit here and play semantics with this shit all we want. That idealism is cute, but at the end of the day, we still gotta come up with some fucking resources.
You don't have to come up with anything. It's already here.
It's already here.
That's
where I'm kind of lost. I ain't gonna lie. That's where I'm kind of lost, Taking. I'm just being real with you, brother. It's not that nothing that you're saying is off or wrong. I'm lost because those natural resources are still here, bro. Without money, all that shit's still here.
It was here
yes,
before
and then,
money got
but
here.
here's a funny thing.
Ooh, not only that.
Now, if
not
you
only
can produce,
that,
when you're producing a natural resource, when you're producing a resource, what do you get for it? You trade it for money.
You don't have to get anything. That's the whole point, right?
Hey man,
I'm gonna blow your head up with this one, right?
Hey brother,
So,
one thing
game,
I'm not.
right?
I don't
know
know.
Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead, Rich. Oh,
Right.
hold
we
on.
know
I'm
all
gonna
these
let
natural.
Rich go ahead and respond to that.
We know all these natural resources exist, right? The
Mhm.
reason why they're depleted, right, is because we invented a money system that says we could just go and rob this natural resource from its natural habitat and trade it to whoever we want, and we can clone that shit. You understand what I'm saying? What the fuck are we talking about, bro?
I want to
All
ask you
shit
something.
will exist
I want to ask you
regardless.
something.
We off topic like a motherfucker though. I just
I
want
wanna
Like a
ask you
motherfucker,
something.
but
Right.
that's how most conversations go,
this is
man.
all
That's how most
tied into
conversations go. We
It's
get,
all-
it leads into a
It's all
whole
tied
No, I know,
in,
I know.
though.
I'm just saying, I
It's
wouldn't
all
throw that out
tied
there.
in. It's all tied in, bro. But I want to ask you something, Rich. This is a real question.
I'm listening, my brother.
Do you deal with the natural resource as far as in your personal life right now?
Yes, water, air.
No, I'm talking about, do you have business dealings in any natural resource right now?
Funding.
Having a business deal in natural resources is not natural.
I don't care
So, no.
how natural or unnatural. Do you have
Need
any
to.
business dealings? Do you deal
Need
with
to,
any?
though.
Do you deal with any natural resource at all?
No.
I do. And
Well, I mean, I
bet
pay a
you
bill
if
for 'em,
you
but that's about
did,
it.
and if you did, you would feel a whole lot differently than what
I
you're
don't.
saying to me right now.
I don't. Science is still science, right? We know that there's a such thing as an ozone layer. We know what agriculture is. We know these things. Like, we don't have to act like we don't know what this shit is. We know what it is.
You know
We
exactly
know that
what
the
it
planet
is.
exists, and we know that the planet needs care. We know that we are the ones to take care of said planet. I mean, yes, the
Can I
planet does
ask you
have
something else
animals
too?
that
And I
does
got
its
another
own
question for
things
you. I
to
got
help
another
grow
question
things,
for you.
whatever.
I
But
got another
we
question
have
for
to
you.
take care of the planet.
How much? I want to ask you this: do you
Yeah.
deal with any kind of environmental cleanup efforts? Have you ever done anything like that? Is any of that
I
on your
recycle.
resume? Huh?
I recycle.
You recycle,
That matters.
brother. I actually got real environmental waste cleanup shit in my resume, brother. So
I applaud you for that.
I'm really trying to tell you, like, dog, this
So
is
you have finances into those things.
I
But
understand these things. I deal with
again,
these
if
things.
we take away money, no money doesn't exist. Those resources are still available and still here.
That's it.
Yeah,
So we're
but
gonna get to a point where
they will
now
still
we're
be
gonna have to
controlled.
bargain.
This is the
Now
problem.
we're
They
gonna have
will
to bargain
still be
these
controlled.
resources.
Brother, they will still be controlled.
By
And they will
whom?
still be
By who?
By who?
people. People will still
Why not us?
congregate.
Why?
Because,
Okay.
okay,
So
because
why?
you know
Why we
why
can't
not
control
you?
that? If
You
there's
know
no
why
money
not
involved, it's an equal
Once
ball
again,
game.
Why not
because
us?
there's no money. So
That's the
what is
solution.
on these
Why
things?
not us?
understand
You have to be involved in this
understanding
shit.
of money is the problem.
There's no
Listen, if we
understanding of this shit.
it's hypothetical.
No,
Hypothetical, no
fuck the
money. We talking
the
about
hypotheticals is what got us with the banana in our tailpipe. This is where we at. I have a dream, little white boys, little black boys, and little white girls, and hold hands in harmony. Instead of saying, this is a fucking class war. This is until
that's because they wasn't here. They wasn't here thoroughly.
No, they wasn't. And there was a preacher telling you he had a dream, and he wasn't even in that book.
No,
this is the idealism that got us fucked over in the first fucking place.
I would say I was more Malcolm X than Martin Luther King.
Now I was more Marcus Garvey than all of them.
True.
And that,
Hey,
may I add, that was the last time my brother had ships, planes, and all that shit. Trains, planes, automobiles, going back and forth across the pond. Don't no brothers got no shipping containers now, man. Stop playing, bro. We playing ourselves. We ain't got enough of us in enough industries to actually understand this shit so that we can actually get a foot in and be competitive with some shit. But money don't exist.
That's the problem. That's the problem, that we actually believe that.
I was about to say,
that's why we're
not
stagnant.
no
That's why we
believing.
can't move forward.
Once again, you can't have a number one nothing without us. So we're in there. It's the
We're
lack of
in
knowledge.
there.
It's the lack of knowledge.
But we might have to pack up and leave, Tom. We might have to pack up and leave. We can't do what we trying to do in this motherfucker. This ain't our shit.
But
or we can organize. Listen, or we can organize and say, hey, look, let's separate. Y'all have the North. We have the South.
They're gonna bomb us. Listen, they're gonna bomb us.
No, y'all know what a coup is, right?
But we ain't even gotta do that. This is my thing.
I ain't going like my man Miles. He said, leave and go where? We not going nowhere. No, let's not leave. Y'all take one section. We take one section.
That's called a coup.
And we part ways. And we all live in our own.
You see,
y'all know what a coup. You know what a coup is, right?
What you talking about?
A coup?
That bullshit that
Castro. That's what that is, Lo.
That bullshit.
If we start taking over different sectors.
Hey, Castro did that and watched all his homeboys turn on.
Yeah.
But who's going to do it is the question.
Wait a second,
bro. I don't think this generation.
It would start with us. It would start with us. It would have to start with us. It would have to start with us to at least pass some truth down, and then it's not going to be us that's changing it. But we're going to be the start. We're going to be the start. So
No,
it's gonna
I'm
be
gonna just say
our
this right now.
kids probably carrying out
Listen,
what we have
Yes,
discovered.
this
definitive
conversation
segregation
alone,
all over again.
this conversation alone is the start. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, granted, you can't just say it ain't gonna be us to change it. You can't start running. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is the change right now. These type of conversations, this uncomfortable ass conversation, nigga, is the motherfucking
absolutely
the beginning of everything. And that's the thing, that we should have way more of these.
Hey,
and when we
brother,
all separate from here,
all I gotta
if
say
we hold
about
on, man, let me finish
oh,
talking,
no,
my
no, no,
dog.
no, no.
Hold on,
If we all separate from here, you know what I'm
Let me
saying?
mute.
And we take, and you take what you took from this conversation. We all take what we take from these conversations and have more of them behind these, off these, and behind our own doors. That ain't gonna do nothing but expand and grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's really where it all starts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. We can talk about money. We can talk about all this other shit. But realistically, it's literally all about what you teach the next generation, whether it's your kid, niece, nephew, neighbor. Don't give a shit. If you're teaching the kids something, as far as us sticking together, then that's what's going. They're not going to know anything else but other than to do the same thing. If you think about it, everything you know right now today was something that you learned from somebody else, whether it was their experience, whether it was something you seen on TV, read in the book, or some shit you witnessed yourself or been through yourself. It's all a learning process. So my thing is, if we take all of that and embed it in the kids, embed it into the youth, and continue to do that. See, the problem is, nigga, we worry about, we so zoned out that the ones who are actually doing that are also teaching their kids how to keep us zoned out. They teaching them that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes, yeah, you feel me? So when it comes down to it, realistically, this is right here, right now, is where it really stopped. This really where it started at, right? With these right here. With these conversations.
All facts.
You need these conversations, man.
Yeah. So whoever picked it, it's a great topic tonight. I just want to throw that out there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I wanted to have this conversation, man, because it's been brewing in me for so long, and I haven't did my own show to do it. But now that I have the opportunity to host the show tonight, and I'm like, you know what? All right, we're gonna do it the low way. We're gonna talk about some real.
You did a great job, Lo, man. I just want to tell you that, bro.
That's for sure.
Great job, man.
Appreciate it, dog. Appreciate that, dog.
Yeah.
I just wanted to come together, and I'm glad that you brothers came on. And this, I honestly want to do a part 2 of this because there's some other guys that I want to get some perspectives on and have them come on. But we'll get to that. Yeah. So this is a segue, man, that I'm doing. It's called Iron and Sharpening Iron. This is a part of the UCP podcast, and it's basically something what we're doing right now, us men talking. And then we'll have a segue. We'll have Nay and her crew, whoever women that want to come on, and they'll have a conversation. Right. But we won't tap in, just like ladies ain't tapped in. This is all straight king men talk, right? So I appreciate y'all guys coming on, and I'm not ending the conversation, but this is something this has been brewing in me, man, because I want the answers and I want what you guys perspectives are and how y'all feel, because we have kids. Everybody in here, I'm sure, has children. Yeah, right. We have wives, ex-wives, girlfriends, children. We have kids, man, and that we got to get to a point where we have to start educating the truth, because we know the truth, and I think we'll do a disservice moving forward. I'm talking about from now on, bro. Now on, we will do a disservice to our generation or our race if we don't speak the truth. I was trying to give the baby boomers, our parents' generation, the benefit of the doubt when I said bridge the gap, because they so hung over on the old shit, which was the wrong shit. And a lot of the ways that we was brought up was not even right, but they did what they thought was best. And there's no knock to none of our parents on here. But now that we know the truth, because we keep saying we want to break generational curses, so now that we see it's a problem, now there's a lot of truth that's been spewed. Our truth we get canceled for. I want to bring notoriety to that. I want to explore. I want to just blow that up, because I want to know why.
But you know what? Let me. Can I say something on that right there? Right. You just said our truth we get canceled for, right? But going back to what I said earlier, if we are the ones who set the tone
We can't be canceled.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you say.
Or we do the fucking canceling. Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We do the cancel. Right now, we could have shut down the NFL. We could shut down the NBA right now. Right now.
I'm gonna piggyback off that.
But you feel me though? But I'm just saying, whatever it is, we can shut that shit down, bro. We can
shut it down.
If everybody shut that shit down and said, "Fuck it, we watching Cube from here on out." You right?
Or not even only watch Cube, but why not blow his league up?
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
All 75, 80% of the NBA is blacks. So why not we say, fuck it, leave that league and say, hey, bro, instead of the big three, you can squeeze 5 or 4, and then we can full court.
Right. You feel me?
Yep.
Regardless, right? We can blow it up all the way live, right? Yep. We got the control to do that, dog. And that's what we do. They go back to is that this is the messed up part though. Because nobody's having these conversations, we don't even know that we got the control to do that. So many people don't even understand. They just think, oh, it's just me. No, man, we deep as hell out here. We see.
Well, you know what, Tom?
You know, I don't think they, on a business level, I don't think a lot of them brothers can go over to the big three like that or go to no other leagues because them contracts involve their image and likeness into the universe and shit.
You know, I get that. But once again, right? We control that though.
Yeah.
Well, as a group,
maybe
right? Listen,
maybe from here on out. But see, here's the problem in that. It's just there, the thought process of being a part of something is what draws so much of the fucking blinders on everybody's eyes. So here comes the competitive part of it, because as many brothers as we saying, okay, they gonna quit the league and go over here, you gonna have just another whole generation of brothers. Well, shit, let me in the NBA. Fuck all that, because everybody not.
That's lack of knowledge. And what we just said.
But at the same time, it's a choice. But there's a choice to it though, right. And everybody not gonna make that choice.
Everybody can't go.
But listen, everybody
can't go.
Right. Number one, it ain't for everybody, right?
It ain't for everybody.
Number one. But number two, though, if in the event that they do make, the ones that do make that choice, right? How's that going to affect all of the, once again, we all know what we've been taught or what we've learned from what we've seen out of our experiences. So if we're watching people, for example, we watched Cube, a rapper, right? Make that he went from saying fuck the police and being a nigga with an attitude.
Oh no, he also said he said F the U's too.
You hear me though?
He did.
To be in a household name, right? He got his own production companies, all of that, and now he's doing basketball, dog. Come on, bro.
Come on, man.
What more do you need?
The living proof, bro. We can do it on our own, bro.
What more do you need?
We don't need these corporations. We don't need them, bro. We don't need their money. We don't need it. We can make our own.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying about it.
The Washington Commanders. See, now, okay, it's one of these NFL teams is for sale. I think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Commanders, the Washington Commanders, the football team. Well, the Redskins. I think one of those two teams are up for sale. So, legend has it is Jay-Z and Jeff Bezos are kind of like in talks or in secret meetings to buy the team. But my thing for Hov is like, all right, why go with Jeff Bezos?
Right.
Why not get with Diddy? Why not get with Diddy?
Yeah.
Why not get with your old partner, even though we don't have the money? Well, I bet you he can run it.
Because in real life, it's really more of a shareholders meeting than more than.
Why not get with Magic?
Hey, it's more of a shareholders meeting and less of a goddamn owners meeting. I mean, you
shareholders. Shareholders is
they,
nothing but that ESG system.
They just big. They be
that
big
ESG system. That's all that is, bro. That's some fake make-believe bullshit.
They really be big capping in the media about all that kind of shit. You gonna
another ish corporation.
Like I remember when they said about Dog in the Nets. I remember I looked into it. He really owned 1/10 of 1% of the Nets, But the media outlets were saying he was an owner of the team. Like, brother, 1/10 of 1%, nigga. That mean if they made $1,000, you got a dime, my nigga. What the fuck is you talking about?
Right.
And so it's more of a shareholders meeting than anything. And so we don't understand these terms, and we don't be understanding this shit. And this is where we get into the idolatry and get to looking at these people like, oh, they're just da-da-da-da. No, they're not real. It's not like that for real. And so we don't live in a country. We live in a corporation. You know,
Yeah. I agree.
anything can be.
I agree.
Anything
Jesse
can be.
the Ventura said that.
I
That's a
mean,
fact.
like, come on, bro.
But
We not
based on what we saying, it's a game. It's a game, right? Chess versus checkers.
Oh,
That's really what it is.
let me add.
You
this
know what I'm
one to it.
saying?
Let
It's
me
like,
add
yeah,
this
we
one
can
to
just
Probably
go
it.
ahead and
never.
just
That's
start
why I
Let
say,
me add
man,
this one to it before we get
or
it.
we
Before
can
this
set up
all
our
over with.
board.
Hold on. Well, one thing is one thing. Even the criticism of BLM as an organization,
Yeah.
that is an organization ran by one of them people.
Okay.
He bankrolled it.
A money play.
Okay, it was a money play by a you.
Right.
Okay.
What is the surprise?
man,
But
we
what
gonna
does that?
say
But what
this,
does that
man.
mean to
why?
us?
You can't
That don't
say
mean
this.
to
It
me.
means a lot
Listen,
to
you
it
know
means
why?
a lot
'Cause
to
they
us
teach
because
their
you just
kids
had
about money
you just
and
wait
hiding it.
you just had BLM sell you a motherfucking dream all of the fucking election year. That's why it matters.
I ain't
Nah.
follow them.
I'm one of those people that can walk and chew gum at the same time, and I'm just because y'all my brothers, I'm gonna assume y'all can do the same thing, right?
I'm
I
not
can
saying
walk and chew
you
gum at the same time.
personally.
I can agree with Black Lives Matter as a message and never ever follow the organization.
For sure.
Facts.
But do you
I'm the
not
same
I
way.
can walk
understand?
and chew gum
But
at
do
the
you
same
not
time.
have
Fact.
any? But do you not have any overstanding on how detrimental that is as a misplay and a double word? That's double sworded bullshit.
Huh.
Well, because the way I see it is I'm still going to be me, right? So when it matters to me, I'm going to correct whoever needs correcting. I am going to do that. I'm not looking for nobody to do that shit for me.
So when you say eat, reach one, teach one, how much harder is it for you to reach one, teach one when you got this kind of mind poison?
It doesn't even matter.
That's
See,
given
that's
to
the
you in a
difference
sugar-coated
between
pill.
me. That's the difference between me and other motherfuckers. I don't care how hard it is. I'm going to do the work. It doesn't matter how hard it is. I don't care.
Well,
If
let's
I gotta
start with
reach
the.
you,
All
I'm gonna
right.
reach
Well,
you.
since you enjoy thankless tasks, I want you to spearhead the re-education of Black America in the politics. Since you're in the thankless tasks, because we have a big problem. We have a big problem with going out to them polls 90% blue because we do not get representation in either form. If we had some kind of real leadership, we would split the ticket.
Not to cut you off, Slade, but hold on. When you talk about these polls and shit, first of all, with us, we need to be educated on who the fuck we voting for. Cause motherfuckers, I'm saying that because of my experience. I'm in the polls, and this dude next to me, he just talking. He's like, "Oh man, I don't know who the fuck these people is, but I ain't voting for no nigga named Bernstein. Can't trust no nigga named Bernstein." And it's like, dog, you don't even know who this nigga is.
Well,
he could be the one.
I'm gonna say this is what I'm saying. Where I came at it is we don't have enough numbers to swing an election anyway. So what we need to do is
yes, we do. That's what we're talking about.
We're statistically
the whole election talks about the black vote. They don't talk about the white vote, the Hispanic vote. Nigga, they talk about the black vote.
That is a statistic.
Our vote is the vote that matters, bro. Ain't no other vote that fucking matters but our vote, bro.
Because
you want me to explain something to you? Let me explain something to you about that black vote. That black vote. I did a video on Facebook about 6 years ago that got taken off. I explained how numerically we are not in it. Numerically.
How?
We don't got enough people. As far as, I think it was the 2012 election, I think we were like 17 million votes, whereas the white vote was 98 million votes. They don't have to talk about a white vote.
Yeah,
That is propaganda.
That's because
my
we
brother.
don't go vote. That's the thing. That's why.
No, I mean, even if we went out and vote, we're not even enough people in the equation. We're numerically out of it. So the best way to do it, the best way. So listen, the reason we're numerically out of it. So if we split our vote, one go one way, one go the other way, then we are forced to have some type of political representation on some level.
Okay, so let's look at this perspective, right? Let's say we don't give a fuck about your vote, right? Let's say it's just us four on this panel, right? And we say, okay, go ahead and vote, but we still gonna say we gonna do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Brother, I might have to switch. I might have to switch device. I might have to switch devices. I think this one gonna die soon.
Let's just look at that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like,
actually, man, we're gonna actually soon wrap this up, man. So
okay. Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm gonna let you go ahead, cook, Rich. Go ahead.
Oh my man. So like, say we look at that perspective, right? If we could consciously think of that, then that means that other people can consciously think of that. We can't roam the earth thinking that we're the only people that think what we think. You understand what I'm saying? We all have a link with each other. I'm kind of a naturalist in a sense, but I believe that we all are connected, right? So there's nothing that I'm thinking about that I don't think somebody else is somewhere else thinking about. You feel what I'm saying? Sure. So if I could think to myself that if me, Low, Tone, and Tink were on a panel, and let's say I put Nay up, right? And then somebody else put such and such up, and somebody else put such and such up, and I opened it up for y'all to vote for them, other people outside of us four to vote for them. What's stopping me and you and you and you from saying, I don't give a fuck what y'all voted for? This is who I put right here. What's stopping me from doing that? You feel what I'm saying? Right. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make, is that we know these things already. Nothing is new to us. We know what tyranny is. We know what dictatorship is. We know what conquerorship is. We know what all of that shit is. And that's what really makes the play. It's like, if I rob a bank, am I going to decide to just simply rob the bank, or am I going to kill everybody in this bitch? That's what separates those people from these people. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm personally not that person, but when the odds are against you, you have to be that person. It's called fight or flight. You have to make that decision. Either I'm going to say, okay, I'm just going to be comfortable with just robbing the bank. I'm just going to take the money and go. Or it's like, nah, fuck that. I'm killing everybody in this bitch, and I'm robbing the bank. That's what separates me from the rest of you niggas.
I'm just laughing at how your hypotheticals go from money ain't real to robbing a bank.
that in itself is hypothetical. I feel you, but that in itself is hypothetical. You know what I'm saying? If we want to do something else, let's do something else. Right?
God damn.
All right, let's say Tink, you got a house, right? And instead of me just coming in your house and living in it, whether you invite me in or not, I kill you instead. And now the house is mine because you're no longer living. How is that for an analogy? We don't have to use money, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That's what separates this person from this type of person.
Yeah, because people are willing. And then you talk about fight or flight shit. That's gonna be a real rough B&E for that.
And it's okay. Some people don't care. Some people don't care.
Hey, I know we don't. We know they don't care. Some people just
go for it, bro. Some people I don't care if I live or die. I'm doing this.
Hey, we know, and those guys go out really early.
It's okay though.
Hey, they don't get to have they have uncomfortable conversations with Satan.
That's all right. That's all right, because that ain't no longer our business. You feel what I'm saying? But that don't stop that school full of 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds from getting blown up.
Right.
That's real shit. You understand what I'm saying? We can sit here and laugh and joke all we want, but that's real. Motherfuckers go and blow up schools, bro. They go shoot up motherfucking movie theaters. There are people on this planet that don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Demons.
They don't care about their life, and they damn sure don't care about yours. Just like
demons.
They don't
demons, baby. Demons. Them all demons.
They real.
Demons. That's all demons. Demons are very fucking real, bro. I believe in demons. I believe in the devil. Absolutely. I believe in his people. They out here, and I know a lot of them. you know, they have this, you know, that cheap clothing that they appear to be us, but they ain't us, bro.
Hey,
They
we
ain't
can
us.
believe. Hey, as long as we believing in demons, we still believing in angels. It is what
Yeah,
it
for sure.
is. So we gonna keep it positive
Definitely.
on that one.
You gotta believe in the angels.
Right.
And if you don't
Yeah,
believe,
man.
and
But
if you
man,
don't
listen,
believe in them, be
this was
one.
definitely a must-have conversation, man. And I appreciate every last one of y'all coming in and
Thanks.
tapping in with
Appreciate
your
Thanks.
the
boy
invite, bro.
and
Thanks.
giving y'all perspectives. I've learned a lot tonight. Honestly, I got my I'm doing something different. As y'all been talking, I got my laptop. So I kind of been like looking up a lot of definitions of things and all of that. Yup, with the drink. I
With
got
the
the
drink.
brewski.
Right. Exactly.
Look, I believe in baby steps, Lo. It's
Yeah,
like black owned, black owned, black owned. Baby steps, baby.
Right.
Baby steps.
definite
Right.
baby steps. But a baby step, I would say this. One baby step we need to start following these laws. We need to start following Christ. We need to start getting our spirituality up, and we need to start figuring out who we are. If you don't know who you are, and that's not to say that these gentlemen here don't know who they are. How
Just
you
as a
guys were talking
collective.
tonight, you guys definitely sound like y'all know who y'all are, and y'all on the right track. But those with the knowledge, we got to start studying more and spewing that knowledge to the generation to come and those lost ones like our friends and family who we would want them along with us. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some idiots that look like us that's just gonna be left here.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna come. So those ones that we want to come with us, if they take the information and they go along with it, cool. But man, we really need to start focusing in on getting to know who we are and also changing and living those laws. And I think with that, we'll change and we'll treat each other better. And we'll also, that will put the pressure on those outsiders that's looking in out on us to start, well, hey, look, they not calling each other niggas no more. They not killing each other no more. They get money. They starting to stick together. They knowing who they are. So
That's
we
what.
kind of fucked. We
Look,
kind
that's
of
when they
fucked
come
because we
in and
knowing
say
who we
we
are.
killing
They
these
knowing
niggas.
who they are. So we kind of fucked up now. So
Right.
we got to break them down, bro. And to break them down is us getting back on that track, bro. That's it. And putting all these 12 tribes together.
I feel that.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna let everybody go around and get their final thoughts. I'm gonna go with Rich, man. Go ahead, give your final thoughts, baby.
I just want to say that I love all y'all brothers. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Okay.
just say that because it's cool this year. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's never going to be a time where I'm going to go against y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even if I get to a point where I feel like somebody needs correcting, that's all out of love. It ain't got nothing to do with me saying, okay, you know, I wish you fail. It's not about that. It's like, I feel like right now you need to be corrected because that's not part of the mission. You feel what I'm saying? But it's all out of love. And if we do more of that, we're one step closer, like literally one step closer to achieving what we want to achieve. You know what I'm saying? And this was actually a really good episode, man. Lo, I'm proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? You held it down, had
Appreciate
a
it,
nice
brother.
little flannel with the hoodie, man. You know
And
what
you know,
I'm
I had to
saying?
get a little clean a little bit with the
You know what I'm
beard. I
saying?
said, man,
Tone came
I
through
gotta
and it looked like the
represent and hold it
Buffy. You
down,
understand what
dog.
I'm saying? We out here. You know what I'm saying? Tink got the rose tints on his shits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tink
we
come
out
through.
here.
He come through with
I
the
love
blunt, man. Hey, I'm telling you, Tink. Next time you tap in with me, bro, I'm gonna smoke
I
with you,
love
bro.
it.
I'm gonna be
I
right
love
here
it.
with you. We gonna smoke
I
together
love
on
it.
this
So,
shit, man.
I
For sure.
love it. I feel like we're a group of beautiful young men, young black men, and I love it. I love this camaraderie. I love it.
100.
We
My
need more.
man, my man. Tone, go ahead, bro.
Man, I'm gonna just say, man, number one, just feeding off of that same energy, man. Number one, man, it's all gonna boil down to us showing love to each other. Number one, we got us, and just really kind of going back to the topic, man. What can we do better? I just want to end on this note. Respect is a big deal. We taught not to respect ourselves. We taught not to respect women. We taught to be disrespect. We taught to glorify disrespect at a high form. And then we're also being taught to not disrespect certain people, which is crazy, right? I will say, number one, you know, for sure, love and respect is big. within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, is teaching that and really understanding what you're doing and what you're saying around kids, what you're doing and what you're saying on this public platform, what you do and what you say in public, all of that really count. You know what I'm saying? So, just kind of piggybacking off of what I was saying earlier, man, with everybody understanding that you can't have that number one without us. Don't forget that. If this your first time hearing that, don't ever forget that because you can't.
Right.
It's impossible. That's actually a business fact that you cannot have a number one selling anything without the Negro. So don't ever forget that. That should help solidify the value that we have. You know what I'm saying? Solidify that understanding and have that much more of a reason to be respectful of who we are and why we are, especially knowing what we done been through as a race through the past however long in time. It's crazy, man, because it had me wondering, like, man, what did black people do so bad back in the day to deserve hundreds and thousands of years of bullshit? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, when you sit back and look at that, man, it just kind of put a different taste on it. You know what I'm saying? Because granted, man, ain't nobody perfect, dog. Not now, nobody here perfect, dog. At the same time, we all learning. So the best thing I would say is really teach what you know is right. Do your best to continue on that path. And I think from that point, and let's continue to have these uncomfortable conversations in order so we can grow from them and move forward.
Long as I'm hosting, baby, we gonna have all these kind of.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Another plug. but hey, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I think if we do that, man, we could do that for sure, and really just
Tone,
different levels. Yeah.
Tone, can you send me your profile so I can follow you?
For sure.
Right,
For sure.
Follow my man. We from the pillar.
Right. All day.
HP all day, baby. Well, listen, man, that's the show, man. I appreciate you guys tapping in. Tink, his device died, so he couldn't, give his final thoughts. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm gonna go live. I may go live to do like an afterglow, like an afterthought process thing. But I'm just gonna drop some content just to elaborate a little bit on tonight's show and how I feel.
Right.
So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody who tapped in the comments, man. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tapping in the Uncomfortable Convos podcast. I may do a part 2 of this. I may part 2 this conversation because this definitely is a must have, and I would love for y'all to come back and give more perspective because I know within the week y'all gonna be Googling and doing a whole lot more shit.
Let's do it. I'm with you.
Man, that's that. This your boy L to the Izzo, as you know. Uncomfortable Convos, baby. That's that. Tune in live next week at 8 o'clock, baby. For sure. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.